Everybody, back here with you, DayTraderRockStar here, back with another RockBot video here. This is going to be my second follow-up here. I'm here again tonight, just working on some scripting on some of the scripts to kind of break it down. So far, we have the two divergent scripts working very good. The 1 minute is probably excellent for scalping. The 5 minute is much better, calling a total reversal in the market type of thing, and combining them gives us a super signal and adding that. And another way of getting a super signal is adding the tradeometer to it. Now we have the bull and bear flags, which worked out great today. There was a fantastic flag in the morning. I wonder if I could actually show you that before I even go into the bot information here. This is the overnight trade right now, if you happen to be getting this video. I'm not doing it live, but so this was early morning. This was the early morning move here, and we felt very bullish this morning. I did not want to short this market at all, so I was just looking at the market, and once we got up to the highs, it was basically dead sideways most of the time. But this was an interesting move because this was came out as a nice, what we call a 2020 flag, and I love when I'm able to kind of teach it as it's happening, describe it, understand it, why it's working, and then for everyone to see how it reacts from it. And it's like, wow, that's the proof behind the whole thing. Is what you're seeing is believing, right? If you see it over and over again, then you start to build confidence, so you could actually start to take those trades, because confidence comes in a lot on trading. You know, you have to believe in what you do, and this is something I fully believe in. And there's a couple great setups that we always want to trade. Those are our money setups. That's our money makers. You know, it's like the $20 bill on the ground. We try to use all these analogies that we could kind of relate to and make it easier to accept that you have to be able to trade when the setup is there. That is why we come to work. That is why we come here to do this, to get this setup, or to get this, you know, this double top divergence here, which I identified. And there's only a few different setups that we're looking for.
Order submitted.
Sorry about that. That's the RockBot right there, and we're just talking about the RockBot. She's running tonight. All right, so again, just the whole concept behind the bot here is to develop the bots so we don't miss these setups. This is easy money, you know, and you know, that's what I want to identify for you overnight or in the middle of the night. I'd love to be woken up at 3 in the morning saying there's a perfect 5 minute divergence here while European markets are open, you know. So the next portion is how to take advantage of this. You know, the bot's going to be doing its stuff. You can run it yourself if you happen to get a hold of it. Or you could watch the entries here. So how do we approach this? How do we make money? There's a divergence. Yep, we know it's a divergence. It's telling me that. That's what the bot is doing. It's talking to me, saying, all right, divergence area here. We're not really worried about the divergence right now. It's an overnight trade, but it is right here. But let's get back to the, you know, what we're going to talk about today is what are you going to trade with the RockBot? You know, there's certain times of the day. You know, you can't trade options at night or after the close and before the market opens, but you can trade the futures around the clock, and you can trade futures during the day. And there's new, you know, the addition of the new MES, the micros on the ES, the micros on the NASDAQ. I think the micros on the Dow. This makes it very easy for a beginner to actually get involved in the markets. I mean, you know, we're dealing 1/10 of an S&P futures contract, the E-mini, 1/10 of that. So when you're talking a margin account being put into that, like $500 per contract for margin, now you're talking $50. So you're buying, say you're buying five contracts. You're putting up $250 basically. You're buying 5 contracts, kind of it's just a half of the ES, all right? It's one half of the ES, but you could, you know what? You don't have to buy 5. You could buy a tenth, you know, just buy 1 or 2. Your risk is very small, but the great thing about this, now you're able to let the bot do its thing, because you're not as you're not tend to pull it off. You know, you're going to pull a pitcher before you even pitches a full game. The bot will work out. You just have to feel comfortable in letting it do its stuff and know how to use it. Knowing how to use it's important too. So let's talk about the MES, and I think that MES is going to be really interesting. So I started doing some testing on the MES. I said, well, it doesn't move that much. I mean, I at least want to go in with maybe write the script, or at least use 5 contracts as our position size. So what I wanted to do is, let me bring it up over on the screen here. I'll do it. Let me see if I have it here. I think I have it. Don't mind me. All right, so I put the MES in the backtesting machine here. Actually, I wanted to optimize it, so I actually put it in optimization mode and gave it the parameters that we have. Remember, we have all these parameters that we could choose from now. We have taking profits on the first position, taking profits on the second position, how big that first position, the first lot is going to be, how big the second lot is going to be, what the follow-up lots would be, where you're going to take your first profit, where you're going to take your second profit, where do you want your trailing stop, if you want a trailing stop, how far is it going to follow, when is it going to start, where your stop losses, etc. You get to set these parameters, which is fantastic. That is the key to the whole thing. So when you do the optimization, you'll start to see the beauty of what your best levels should be, what your stop should be compared to what you're looking for. Now, it's difficult. This backtesting thing, I've been doing this for a while now, and I've backtested so much. And you could have a good month, you could have a bad month. You could have a great script one year, you could have a bad script the next year. I mean, this is kind of gives you an overview of everything, but it really depends on market directions and understand where time frames you're going to change or trade in. So I made this to be traded only real-time hours, not getting chopped up overnight, extended hours. So this is all based off of real-time, and it is a MES 5 contracts traded on a 5-minute divergence signal. So the bot automatically takes the trades, and these are the results for this month. Started on November to today on the 5. Because the reason I'm saying this, we're probably going to let this run tomorrow live with the MES, because the results are really good. And I always knew the results are going to be great on the 5-minute in itself. The MES is going to be interesting to see what we can pull out of it. It's not going to give us the return you're going to get in the ES, but again, it's not going to give us the risk either. So know that we started off with five contracts here. Again, if you add that up, that's $250 you're putting up. All right, so let's take that. And there's never going to be one time you're going to be in more than one trade. So at any one time, you're going to be trading $250. All right. Now we have the trades. So let's break down where we have. So overall, in this period of time, using the 5-minute divergence signal, the Thunderbird 5-minute signal, taking the trades, 41 trades, 87, almost 88% successful or profitable. Number of winning trades, 36. Number of losing trades, 5. All right, wow, that's pretty good. Average trade, winning trade, losing trade. And again, when you deal with your stops and losses and stuff, you have to take things in consideration on, of course, a bigger stop is probably going to keep you in a trade longer and give you a higher percentage, but it also brings a little bit more risk over time. This is optimized for this, and it's not bad, because you'll see here, my worst, largest losing trade was $60. So $60. I mean, my largest winning trade is not that much either. It's $40. But remember, these are scalping, 5 MES, and this is automatic. This is just doing itself. So over time, over the month here, this has profits per month. Right now, it's up $526. $526. Remember, you're trading 5 contracts, $250 on each trade. When you in and out, I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Just letting you know that's you're not getting that leverage and stuff. But that's nice. That's a nice return. That I can't ask for more than that. If they go out there and kind of prorate that gives you about 611 profits per month. If this continued to work and was the standard or benchmark, which I think that would continue to hold these. I mean, this is a tremendous profit factor, 2.40. I mean, success rate almost 88%. How many? I like this stuff though. I like to see how many average trades. So it's very good. You see, we get about 2 to 3 trades a day. That's perfect. That's between 9:30 and 4 o'clock. Remember, we're not doing overnight trades either. So this is a perfect, it's giving you a high percentage gain. You have to know how to, when you get to the signal, you got to take it. And it's just easy as that. You learn where you place your stop, and that's the ones you're supposed to do. And, I can move this over to the, I had this on the ES too. The ES, I wonder if I have it saved here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I did the ES, and for the month, it was 4,000 and change, I believe it was a profit of. But again, that was with 5 ES trading. Now I have it for 5. I don't have to put it for 5, but I think this is it right here. No, this is the MES. I just took a picture of that. All right. Well, I don't have that handy. And one thing I will share with you is what we're looking at here. So we're taking profits on a 5-minute. On the 1 minute, when we look at the divergence on the 1 minute script, I'm always taking profits after 3 ticks. 3 ticks, because we have trailers and we're gonna lock it in real fast. The divergence is so good. It's, when you get that small move, is really a high percentage. As it goes higher and higher on the first move out of a divergence, that percentage, you start to come down in percentage. But that high percentage first move is always there. So we usually get that 3 ticks. We lock it in with a trailing stop right to break even. And then you're playing with house money. And that's the object on the 1 minute. The 5 minutes a little bit different, where I am, I don't know if I can bring this over here. Let me see if I can bring that over here. So our profit here, they're looking at of between 8 and 12. They said 10. First profit area, taking off 2. I didn't give them a choice. Taking profits. 2, how many ticks? 14. So between 12 and 16, they said 14 ticks. But it gives you a lot of you get a lot of insight from this. Stop loss, 12 ticks. The bigger the stop loss, you tend to be in that trade longer and has a chance, especially in this environment, to work. So don't let it go to your head that you have a very bullish bot that's taking advantage of buy divergences. And the market's heading your direction. It's going to help you. If this was going against a downward market, I'm sure it wouldn't be as good, but we wouldn't use this spot. We wouldn't use this. We'd use the short setup on this, and it'd probably give us just the same results. So knowing when to use them is important. You don't just, I need an analogy for that one. You don't paddle up. You don't use rowboat oars to paddle a canoe. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. Anyway, so that's where we're at here, and we'll be running this tomorrow. All right, I'm going to be running this tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some back testing again tonight. I'll go out a little bit further, and I'm going to be doing some other flag testing. Oh, my flag test is always pretty good. The bull flag. I have to run that for the next video. I'll show you that. We'll take a fast look at the bot right now. There it is right now. It's actually triggered a divergence down here. Looks like it was a couple. It's kind of getting a little choppy, but again, I let it run overnight because it's on, it's just on sim right now. And I just want to always test it, make sure it's calling like right here. Maybe we should have got a divergence call right here, and I don't really see it. It's a nice steep one, so I might want to look back at that. It's an interesting one. Even I don't know how much that would have worked out before rolling back over, but there's definitely something building here. All right. What is $526.25 divided by 25?
$526 US and 25 cents divided by 25 is $21 US and 5 cents.
$21 US and 5 cents a day. Wow. 21. That's what that comes down to. Of course, some days you're not going to trade. Some days you're going to. You know what? That's interesting. $21 a day. That's spread out, but that's, I don't know. I know right now when I trade the MES and I use this, I'm trading with two MESs because I'm just taking the positions. When I hear the position taken, I'll get in, and again, understand I'm half doing the show and stuff, so I'll let those two, and then I'll turn around, I'll see it's taking some profits, usually $20, $25, and I take it off. And I've been doing that a few times a day, and I see that P&L get up to around $80 to $100 on some days, trading two contracts, trading off the RockBot. Two contracts of the MES. It helps to get some news and big moves. You got to get some big moves. Some days you're going to have a flat day, but there's other days you could actually, make some nice, just have it as an option. It's kind of an option between, getting into the pros. It's semi-pro. It's the semi-pro leagues. All right. Well, I guess that's what I wanted to discuss. I wanted to discuss the MES and the possibility of trading, letting that run, giving it a full testing on that, and see how everything shows up. And you remember that's only one side. Now we talked about only one script running. Right now, when this thing runs, we have multiple scripts running. So we have a long divergence and a short divergence. We have a 1 minute and a 5 minute. We have the bull and bear flag. We have the original gangster, and we have the super signal. So these are all different trades, and they're all going to give us different amounts, different outcomes, different probabilities. Definitely the divergence here is the 5 minute divergence. I think gives you the best opportunity for the longer term trade. The 1 minute, if you're on your game, those 1 minutes add up. You just nickel and dime the market. And the other ones here are more pattern identification kind of. The flags work pretty good. We got a good, I would say, stick to your flag, 2020 flag setup, where the stochastics down here, the 60 and the 60 period down here on the bottom, I would make sure that is embedded well under 20 or embedded well above 80, and preferably set your goals a little bit higher, like 85 or 15, and make sure that you're embedded under that, because when I see a steep embedded in a fast rotation here, that tends to be that flag that we look for, and that's and I can tell you over time what the best setup is. And we sometimes see nice divergences in the 60-10 too. That's just giving you a little special. This is like a little divergence right here. This is a little divergence right here. This is something I would actually, if I wasn't leaving right now after I turn this off, might be actually a. And again, not to get suckered into a light volume overnight trade. That's not the best game in town. But for those out there who rather be trading than at OTB, this is an interesting level right here. I'll come back to it tomorrow and see what happened to it. That was around 10:30. But I gotta get out of here. All right, I gotta get out of here. We'll see you in the morning. I think the AUPH is gonna pop. AUPH is gonna pop tomorrow, my guess. But I'm sending this out tonight, so I don't know. You might get it. Talk to you soon.